if we don't flatten the curve, we got 5 weeks, and we expect, given that we're seeing the impacts of the changes we made, introducing risk, Memorial Day weekend, June 1st, we're seeing those impacts now. We should expect to see that we're going to have increased cases. We won't see the benefits of our behaviors for at least 14 days and beyond. That means if we don't start right now, and if we don't see increased personal behaviors that limit transmission and prevent transmission to the highest degree, we can't safely reopen schools. Our kids and our families are depending on New Mexico to get this right. I'm depending on you to get this right. So I really want to be clear that while we would do everything in our power to save lives, and we are, that the goalpost immediately, because we don't have the right treatments and we don't have a vaccine, is that if we're going to open schools in August, we have July basically to get back where we were and to get into a place where we can see that we are stable and that some counties would start to see a decline in the number of infections per day, per week, per 14 days. Our students, our educators, and their families have to be safe. And I'm getting a lot of interesting feedback here. You know, we want this hybrid model to work. We are hopeful that this hybrid model, where we have some distance learning at home, we have kids coming 2 days a week to school. This is a very complicated model to work. It's a slow, thoughtful, productive way so that we don't close schools halfway through. The whole point of this, and what we've learned in reopening businesses, that when you reintroduce risk, if you don't do that in a moderate, slow, safe way, you can have results that give you only one option when you have increased cases, to just go back to closing things. And we don't want to do that. Our kids deserve the slow model and then to get to a 5-day school week as quickly as possible. And I also want to point out that when folks are talking to us, they remind us, and we've got a pediatrician here, that the risks for kids, even though it's not that there's no risk for young people. That's not true. And we're finding more and more issues related to having COVID-19 as a young person, as an adolescent, as an elementary age school kid. The issue is, in addition, that you can have an exposure and significant issues, that our educators and families are at higher risk for consequences related to getting COVID-19. So think about all the people that work in education. Your teachers, your teacher aides, the folks who are making meals, the principals and administrators, the custodians, everyone in the system. We have an obligation to keep them safe, because if they get sick, there isn't anyone to come to school and provide those services for you, and those risks are too high.